Good afternoon, New York City. What's up? I'm Brian Custer. This is the New York press conference for Canelo versus Berlanga. Here to tell you on Saturday, September 14th, Canelo Promotions is going to celebrate a Mexican Independence Day weekend, and you're going to see a stacked PBC Pay-Per-View event on Prime Video, and it's going to feature a classic Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry and battle in the main event. And it's going to feature two of the most exciting and biggest punchers in the super middleweight division. This fight will take place at T-Mobile Arena in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, which, of course, as you know, has hosted some of the biggest combat sporting events over the recent years. And you're going to see the Mexican superstar, the unified super middleweight champion of the world, Canelo Álvarez, defend his titles against the unbeaten Edgar Berlanga on PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime Video. The interesting thing about this is that you'll also see a couple of other fights on Prime Video as well that the PBC is bringing you. And we got a treat for you. The main event fighter is here in those fights that you'll see on September 14th. This young man comes in at 21-1, 8 knockouts. He's the former unified super bantamweight champion of the world, trains in that fighting city of Philadelphia, trained by Derek Bozy Edwards. He's gonna face Carlos Castro in a 10-round featherweight bout in that main event. In fact, making his debut at featherweight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring to the stage, you know him as Cool Boy, Stephen Fulton Jr. Stephen Fulton Jr., he's back, and he'll be taking on Carlos Castro, 10-round featherweight bout in that main event that you'll see on Prime Video, PBC here on Prime. We'll get back to the pay-per-view portion of the evening. The co-main event, a world title fight. And coming to the stage now is a man you'll see challenging for that world title. No stranger to being a world champion because he has done it in a couple of weight divisions. 37-3 is his record. 21 knockouts. He's the former unified super lightweight champion, former WBC welterweight champion of the world, looking to become a 3-division world champion, trained by his father, Angel Garcia, and just like Cool Boy here, proudly repping that great city of Philadelphia. He's coming back. Danny Swift Garcia. Danny's going to be challenging the champion. You know him as the American Dream. 33-3. He's got 18 knockouts. Comes from that great Cuban school of boxing. was one of the greatest amateurs of all time, two-division world champion, currently boxing's oldest world champion right now, trained by Ismael Salas. He is the reigning WBA middleweight champion of the world, Erislandy Lara. The WBA middleweight champion, Erislandy Lara, Danny Garcia. They will fight for the title. It will be the co-main that you see on that pay-per-view event on September 14th. Joining everybody here on the stage, Angel Garcia, of course, the trainer of Danny Garcia. Want to remind you, tickets for this event are now on sale, and you can get your tickets through AXS.com. I will repeat that, AXS.com. In addition to the pay-per-view being available to purchase on Prime Video, and really regardless of your Prime membership, you can also purchase the pay-per-view through DAZN.com. You can also purchase it at PPV.com as well. Those are just some of the options, as well as you can access it through the telecast through your traditional cable and satellite providers. The event is being promoted by Canelo Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Matchroom Boxing. Let me bring to the podium here man who's the president of TGB Promotions, Mr. Tom Brown.
Thank you, Brian. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. I'm just so happy that we finally got this fight over the goal line and we found a great card for it to go on. Erislandy Lara is coming off a big second-round knockout in his last fight just in March over his WBA mandatory challenger, Michael Zarafa. He's a former 154-pound world champion. The kid just makes for great fights. His fight with Jarrett Hurd was a Boxing Writers Association and the ESPN Fight of the Year. Then he came right back and had one of the best fights in 2019 with Brian Castano, and he just is always in great fights. And it's great to have Danny back as the opponent, challenging once again for a world title. As Brian said, he's a former two-division world champion and one of the best 140-pounders of all time. He's an old-school, throwback-type fighter where he's always willing to fight the best in the business. So I'm really looking forward to this fight, and then to have Fulton on our Prime Video show. It's just really turning into a great card, and I'm real happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Let me bring to the podium now, young man here to my right, to your left. Once again, he's the former unified super bantamweight champion of the world. Comes in at 21-1. 8 knockouts. You know him as Cool Boy, Stephen Fulton Jr.
How y'all doing? Guess it's good to be back for a long time. I really don't have much to say. Just thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all.
Cool Boy, man, a few words. Got a couple questions for you anyway, though. I know it's been over a year since we've seen you in the ring. Tell us why now, and tell us why Carlos Castro.
I'm just ready to be back. I think it's now because it was the right moment for everything that was going on. So, like that's it.
Listen, we already know
Crazy.
what you could do at 122. Record speaks for itself. Former unified champion, making your debut at 126. Tell us why 126, and what do you see as the future for you in that division?
More titles. I feel like I wanted to go to 130, but I'll take a pit stop here first, get my feet wet a little bit, then hopefully gain another world title until I can become 2 division world champ, move up, do the same thing. So that's my goal for now.
And you said become a world champion. You were unified at 122. Do you see yourself being unified at 126?
I could take it as far as I want to take it. It's just up to me.
This is more of a serious Stephen Fulton that we've seen in the past. Tell us why.
I've been through some things.
And will that play out in the ring when we see that in September?
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. Stephen Fulton, he's back. Let me bring to the podium now. Guy comes in with a record at 37-3, 21 knockouts. Former unified, super lightweight champion. Former WBC welterweight champion. Hails from the fighting city of Philadelphia. And again, looking to become a 3-division world champion. He is Danny Swift Garcia.
You know, first of all, I want to thank God. Without God, none of this is possible. I want to thank my team, my father, Edgar Garcia, my family, and all my fans who've been so patient for me, you know, coming off a 2-year layoff. I've been feeling great, you know, and coming in to this September 14th, I'm excited to be sharing the stage with Cool Boy Steph, Edgar Berlanga, Caleb Plant, Rolly Ramirez, Rolly Ramiro, and Canelo. You know what I mean? The face of boxing. So the stage is set. It's a big stage. I'm happy to be here. You know, for me, this is a historic fight for me. You know, I won titles at 140, 147. It's always been a dream of mine to be a 3-division world champion. And, you know I got a tough task ahead of me against Lara, another great fighter who's been around as long as I've been around, a 2-division champion. So two division champions going at it, mano y mano, September 14th. It's going to be an epic night. I'm looking forward to making history, you know, for the city of Philadelphia, for all my fans. And I just feel blessed to be back. You know, I love boxing like a fat kid loves cake. So that's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm really here. Because I like to fight. My name is Antonio Montana. Say no. No. You know, Lara's Cuban, but I'm the real Danny Montana. I see you on September 14th.
Gotta love Danny Garcia. He can fight and he's funny. He brings to the podium his opponent. And not just any opponent, the champion. You know him as the American Dream. 33-3. 18 knockouts. Fights now out of Las Vegas. Hails from Cuba. He's the former junior middleweight world champion, the reigning WBA middleweight champion of the world. If you remember, last saw him in March on PBC on Prime Video. He knocked out his opponent. He is Erislandy, Lara. Genesis will do the translation for Erislandy.
Buenas tardes. Quiero darle las gracias a PBC Amazon Prime, a todos ustedes que están presentes, al Team Danny García por tomar esta pelea. Quiero darle las gracias a Luis de Cuba Jr., a mi familia, a mis hijos, a mi esposa. Nos vemos el 14 de septiembre. Vamos a estar listos para dar una gran pelea. Puerto Rico y Cuba, vamos a salir adelante. Gracias.
I am very grateful to be here today. I'm grateful for my family and kids, and I am very excited to
Guys, let's talk about this fight. Champ, I'll start with you. I remember the last time we saw you fight in March, you got the knockout. Someone asked you, what would you like next? And you said, Danny Garcia. Tell us why. Why did you want this challenge with Danny Garcia?
Yo recuerdo la última vez que peleaste en marzo, que dijiste que querías pelear con Andy García.
Sí, es verdad, eso fue una estrategia que mi equipo, mi promotor, mi manager, quisimos hacer así. Vinimos a la última pelea de él y yo vine a ver la pelea de él contra Benavides y me resultó interesante esa pelea entre él y él. Dani García es un gran boxeador, campeón en 3 divisiones y creo que esto es lo que el público se merece, ¿no? Una pelea entre nosotros dos.
That was a strategy that my manager, my team, and I built after seeing the last fight he had with Benavides. And since he's a world champion, I would like to do that also, fight him.
Danny, you mentioned it. It's been 2 years since we last seen you in the ring. Now you come back. Now you don't not only come back, but you're fighting for a world title, but at 160. Tell us why so long and then why 160?
You know, I wasn't off 2 years because I wanted to. You know, boxing took a change, and you know, I just sat down and waited for my opportunity. You know, the fight was supposed to happen last year in August, but it didn't happen. This is a fight that I've been planning for, and a fight that I wanted. You know, Lara has something I want, which is a title, and you know, I'm the name, so he wants my name, I want his title, and it makes perfect sense. I'm trying to make history.
I remember one of our last talks, we were talking about 154, but this is 160.
Yeah, too much rice and beans, man.
It's a bigger jump.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, talk to me about the challenge. Will that challenge be too much?
You know, I feel like boxing's all mental. You know, you can do whatever you put your mind to. And if you feel like you can't do it, it's probably because you can't do it. But I know mentally, I believe I can do whatever I put my mind to. And I never back down from any challenge. It's just the weight. You know, boxing's about skill and will. At the end of the day, when you tired and you going into those championship rounds, it's all about who got the most will. And, you know, they could box, but everybody knows Danny Garcia could fight. So I come to fight.
Erislandy, he says everybody knows Lara can box, but he also says everybody knows that Danny Garcia can fight. But this is a guy, and this is your 3rd title defense. This is a guy, though, who's only had, 3 fights in the last 4 years. Is he biting off more than he can chew, you think, on September 14th?
Él dice que todo el mundo sabe que tú sabes pelear, pero que el otro también. Que él ha peleado 3 o 4 veces. ¿Tú crees que él está cogiendo más de lo que él puede?
Bueno, él puede coger lo que quiera, ¿no? Él puede, en su mente, puede pensar lo que quiera pensar. Entonces, todo el mundo me conoce, sabe qué tipo de boxeador yo soy y la calidad de boxeador que yo soy. Solamente sé que vamos a vernos el 14 de septiembre. Este no es tiempo de estar hablando tanto ni nada de eso. Vamos a vernos el 14 de septiembre.
He said, this is not the time to be talking too much. Yes, he is good and he can think whatever he wants, but we will talk in September.
Champ, we'll wrap it up with this. Why don't you let the people know, let Danny Garcia know what he's in for on September 14th?
¿Por qué no le dejas saber a la gente y a los boxeadores lo que le espera el 14 de septiembre?
Ya está escrito ya, soy campeón mundial y lo voy a seguir haciendo campeón mundial hasta que me retire. No tengo que dejar eso de saber a nadie.
That is already written down. I don't have to tell anyone. I am going to be the champion.
Danny Garcia, why don't you let Erislandy Lara know, let these people know what they're in store for on September 14th and what would it mean to you to be a 3-division world champion?
You know, come September 14th, you know, I'm bringing the Danny Garcia show to Vegas. So if you didn't book your flights yet, book your hotels and buy your tickets, make sure you go buy it. You know, pre-order the pay-per-view because this is a historic night for me. I'm chasing a dream, and I'm the type of person I never stop until I get what I want. You know, a lot of people call me an overachiever, but I'm here because I'm a great fighter. Not because I got lucky, because I know I'm great. And when you're great, you take a shot at greatness. You do what everyone thinks you can't do. And that's why I'm here.
Folks, it's the co-main event on the PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime, September 14th, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It is the champion, the WBA middleweight champion of the world, Erislandy Lara, taking on Danny Garcia. Guys, if you don't mind, we could have one last face-off here for the cameras.
Una vez más, un cara a cara.
Yes, please, please. One more photo, folks. One more photo here of everybody. Cool boy Sept. He will be the main event fighter on the PBC on Prime. Don't miss it. Coming up, the main event. Fighters for what you'll see on the PBC Pay-Per-View, September 14th, from Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, Canelo versus Berlanga. It's time for the main event. September 14th, T-Mobile Arena, from the fight capital of the world. The latest installment of that historic rivalry, Mexico, Puerto Rico. Canelo Promotions presents the pound-for-pound great and Mexican superstar, Canelo Álvarez, putting his unified WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles on the line against the undefeated WBA #1 ranked mandatory contender in Edgar Berlanga. This thing is going to headline Mexican Independence Day weekend. It's an extravaganza that you'll see on the PBC Pay-Per-View on Prime, Saturday, September 14th from T-Mobile Arena. Tickets, you can get them now on sale. AXS.com, AXS.com, promoted by Canelo Promotions, TGB Promotions, in association with Matchroom Boxing. You just heard from the co-main event fighters, Erislandy, Lara, and Danny Garcia. Now, the main event fighters. And let me bring out the challenger. This young man is unbeaten. 22-0, 17 knockouts. At one point, he had a streak of 16 straight first-round knockouts. He hails from the beautiful borough of Brooklyn, proudly representing that heritage of Puerto Rico. He's the hard-hitting, the undefeated, the WBA #1 ranked super middleweight contender. He is Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga. He's going to be facing a man who needs no introduction. 61, 2-2, 39 knockouts. The boy's box office, a true global superstar, a Mexican boxing icon, 4-division world champion. He's fought in 25 world title bouts. He is the first undisputed super middleweight champion in this 4-belt era. Future Hall of Famer. He's the current WBA, WBC, WBO super middleweight champion of the world. He is Saul Canelo Álvarez. Canelo Álvarez, Edgar Berlanga.
Frente Valentiniano de frente.
Gentlemen, take your seats. Again, tickets are now on sale, AXS.com. And regardless if you have a Prime membership, You can purchase this fight through Prime Video, DAZN.com, ppv.com, as well as you can access it through your telecast through the traditional cable and satellite providers as well. It is being promoted by Canelo Promotions, TGB Promotions, in association with Matchroom Boxing. Let me bring here to the podium the president of TGB Promotions, Mr. Tom Brown.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to be back here in New York, announcing yet again another Canelo Álvarez fight, a fight that'll be honoring the Mexican Independence Day weekend. Now, this will be Canelo's 4th fight and 3rd fight in a row under the Premier Boxing Champions banner. And I just want to say what a privilege and an honor it is to have worked with Saul, Canelo Promotions, and Eddie Reynoso on all of these events. And as Brian said, he'll be taking on the hard-hitting, undefeated WBA #1 ranked contender, Edgar Berlanga. In Canelo's first fight, back in 2021 with PBC, he beat the undefeated IBF champion, Caleb Plant, to become the first undisputed super middleweight champion. Then he came back, he took on Jermell Charlo, and for the first time in the 4-belt era, it was an unprecedented matchup between 2 reigning undisputed champions. And in his last fight, he took on yet another undefeated fighter, the 43-0 former world champion, Jaime Munguia, in a historic all-Mexican showdown on Cinco de Mayo weekend. And now, on September 14th at the T-Mobile Arena, the Mexican fans and Puerto Rican fans are going to be in for a wild scene out in Las Vegas. And not just on fight night, but all week during fight week. They're going to be loud and boisterous. Flags are going to be waving. Fans are going to be screaming because national pride is on the line. And we all know that both Mexican fighters and Puerto Rican fighters love to slug it out. So we've got a great night and looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tom Brown. Let me introduce some of the people you see here on the stage. Of course, you know Tom Brown, president of TGB Promotions. Louis DeCubas Jr., talking about the management team here of Canelo Álvarez, about his manager and one of the greatest trainers in the sport of boxing, Eddie Reynoso, obviously here, and the champ. To my left, your right, Edgar Berlanga, his father and trainer, Edgar Berlanga Sr. You've got the chairman of Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. It's a long time, my brother. Good to see you. Keith Conley, talking about the manager of Edgar Berlanga as well. You know what, since it's been a long time since we've seen each other, how about bringing him up to the podium? He is the chairman of Matchroom Sports, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. And what a moment for Edgar Berlanga at a time when boxing is red hot. Of course, last weekend, every weekend is a mega fight week, and it doesn't get any bigger than Canelo Álvarez fight weeks. We've missed the Canelo Álvarez fight weeks, and this time we come as the opponent. Many opponents we've had have faced him in the past: Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, John Ryder, Rocky Fielding, and now we have a real shot in Edgar Berlanga. It's been interesting to see the response. I think Edgar's been overlooked, disrespected. He's the #1 challenger with the WBA. He's the mandatory challenger. He's earned the right to this shot. And when we signed him 13 months ago, we promised him a shot at the great Canelo Álvarez. As things moved on, that shot looked as though it would become more difficult. And as always, it's the lottery ticket of boxing to land the shot against Canelo Álvarez. And for that, we want to thank everybody at the PBC, Louis, Tom, and of course the champ and Eddie for taking this fight with Edgar. Keith Connolly done a great job to get this made. But this isn't just about winning the lottery. This is about claiming a ticket. And Edgar Berlanga is here only to win. 16 first-round knockouts in his first 16 fights, 22-0. This kid has amateur pedigree. This kid has ability. This kid has dynamite in his hands, and this kid has a big set of cojones that will put everything on the line on September the 14th. I know that Canelo Álvarez wants real fights, guys that will come to him, to win. This guy won't dance around the ring. He won't try and survive the 12 rounds. He will come for a firefight with Canelo Álvarez. And yes, it is Puerto Rico against Mexico, but it's deeper than that. This is an opportunity of a lifetime for Edgar and his father. He's dedicated his life to the sport, and I promise you, he will give every inch of his soul in Las Vegas. Tom is right. This is going to be a wild week. Canelo Álvarez weeks always are. Incredible scenes, but remember one thing. This guy is here to fight. This guy is here to dethrone the king, and he will give it everything and let his hands go on a wild night in Las Vegas on September the 14th. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. When you talk about management in the sport of boxing, the Cubas is probably one of the best. And on the other side here, you got another one of the best in the sport. He's the manager of Edgar Berlanga, Mr. Keith Connolly.
Great to be here. Excited to be involved in another mega event with one of my guys, Edgar Berlanga. I've been up here a few times in the same situation. We've come up a little short, but all my guys have put on great performances. I expect nothing else from Edgar Berlanga. As Eddie said before, I think a lot of people are overlooking Edgar, but the kid is young, he's strong, and I know for a fact he's got the will to win. So I want to thank Canelo Álvarez for giving us this opportunity. Obviously, Eddie Hearn, an amazing job. Our one goal when we signed with Eddie Hearn, we said, get us the Canelo Álvarez fight. And a little over a year later, we're right here where we want to be. I also want to say a special thanks to Louis DeCubas. I feel like we've become brothers over the last couple of months. I want to thank Eddie Reynoso, the manager of Canelo Álvarez, for giving us this opportunity. Also want to thank my buddy Al Heyman for making this negotiation, even though it's between two rival promoters, pretty smooth. Thank you, Eddie, as well. Two Hall of Famers. The fact that those two guys, Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman, aren't in the Hall of Fame yet, it's a travesty, but that's a conversation for another day. Two greats of the sport. And I want to thank Tom Brown, the promoter of the show. I really think September 14th is going to be a tremendous event. Mexico versus Puerto Rico. And like I said, Edgar's got bombs in his hands, and I expect him to shock the world on September 14th.
Coming to the podium, this man is the manager of Canelo Álvarez, and arguably, you could say probably the best trainer in the sport of boxing. He's won the award countless times, Mr. Eddie Reynoso. Genesis, once again, will do the translation.
Buenas tardes. Antes que nada, pues agradecer a todos los que están aquí presentes, la prensa. Agradecer al señor Aljaime por ser posible esta pelea, a Matchroom, al equipo de Edgar Berlanga. Sabemos que las peleas entre México y Puerto Rico siempre van a ser guerras, así lo dice la historia, desde los triunfos de Julio César Chávez, los triunfos de Salvador Sánchez. Creo que este 14 de septiembre vamos a enfrentar a un tremendo boxeador, un gran prospecto de Puerto Rico y que quiere llevarse los cinturones. Nosotros vamos a hacer nuestro trabajo, vamos a hacer una gran preparación y esperen una gran pelea ese día 14 de septiembre. Y una vez más, muy agradecidos por todos los que vinieron aquí a apoyar esta pelea. Muchas gracias.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here today. September will be a very exciting day. In Mexico, fighting is a huge thing. I want to thank all the team at PBC. And once again, I am thankful that all of you are here and looking forward to September 14.
And we look forward to seeing this next man in the ring. He's unbeaten, 22-0. 17 of his victories have come by knockout. Fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. Training now in Tampa, Florida. Representing that Boricua in Puerto Rico, the undefeated WBA #1 ranked contender, Edgar Berlanga.
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this opportunity. I want to thank PBC. I want to thank Loser Cubas, Al Heyman, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, my manager, Keith Conley, my dad, Edgar Berlanga Sr., and I also want to thank Team Canelo for giving us this opportunity. Listen, man, you know, there's a lot of doubt out there on me and a lot of hate, but I've been facing adversities, man. I've been facing hate all my life, you know. There's my opportunity to become a great champion, but also be legendary in the sport of boxing. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. You know, and September 14th is going to be something to remember. I keep telling y'all, man, superstar status, you know. It's going to be something amazing, man. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. That's the biggest rivalry in boxing, you know. And we're looking forward to making history September 14th. Fireworks, baby. Thank you, guys. I love y'all.
Coming to the podium, the unified champion. 61, 2-2. 39 of his victories have come by knockout. He hails from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He's legendary. He's a boxing superstar. 4-division world champion. He's the reigning WBA, WBC, and WBO super middleweight champion of the world. He is Canelo Álvarez.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And thank you, Al Jaimon. Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Eddie. Tom. Thank you. Eddie Hens, my boy. Thank you. Thank you. All the team. I'm very happy to be here in this position, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. I'm not overlooking him. I know he's a strong fighter, young fighter. And I'm gonna put all my best in the training, all my best in the fight to put it a great fight. And I'm just happy. I love boxing. I love what I do, and I'm happy to be here. And other one. And remember, this fight is gonna be a great fight, and it's gonna be a great day for Mexico. Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, let's talk about the fight. Champ, I'll start with you.
Okay.
I'll ask you the question I'm sure you're going to get from the press, so we might as well get it out of the way now. Tell everybody why Edgar Berlanga and not David Benavidez or Terrence Crawford.
I think this fight is a good fight for the people, no? Mexico versus Puerto Rico, always a great fight, and I think it's a good fight for the people.
Edgar, I've watched some of your social media, and I heard you say a little bit of that today. Why do you think you're being overlooked?
Like I said before, man, I've always been overlooked. You know, even if I had a world title, I'll still be overlooked. You know, I've been overlooked all my life, and I said this earlier on a Breakfast Club. I said that, you know, when I first turned pro, nobody wanted to sign me. No promotion wanted to sign me. And I had to go there, dig my feet deep in the ground, and work and knock people out. And I started knocking people out in the first round, and that's when everybody started wanting to sign me. So, you know, I feel like I'm in the same position right now, you know, getting this fight with Canelo. A lot of people was, you know, talking shit. Before that, I'm fighting cab drivers. Now that I'm fighting a legend, they saying I'm gonna get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So with the people, like Fat Joe said, you never win. So I just put my head down, keep working, stay humble, and you know, and then just turn up September 14th, man. This is something legendary for the sport of boxing. You know, And I don't want to hear, listen, man, I don't want to hear Benavidez, fuck Benavidez. You know, shout out to Crawford, you know what I'm saying? But they keep mentioning Crawford. He fought a 54-pounder. You know, it was a tough fight. You know, we got business to handle September 14th. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just keep mentioning Benavidez and all these guys, man. Like, y'all know it's not going to happen. You feel me? And that's just that, man. Like, September 14th, Berlanga, Canelo, Puerto Rico versus Mexico.
Canelo, he's gotten a chip on his shoulder. Feels like you're overlooking him. Tell him, what is Edgar going to get on September 14th? What should he expect?
No, you know, I never overlook my opponents. I know Edgar Berlanga is young, is strong, but at the end of the day, he have a big challenge in front. It's gonna be a great fight. He's gonna experience something different, and the people is gonna enjoy this fight.
Edgar, these are the type of fights that bring something special out of a fighter. Can you let the people know, let Canelo know what he's going to get and what they're going to see on September 14th when you step into the ring with Canelo Álvarez?
September 14th, man, you know, he's definitely going to bring the best out of me. Like, everything that I know who I am, my coach, my father, he's going to have the best Edgar Berlanga ever, you know. And one thing about me is that when I step up in competition, everything else steps up as far as my boxing ability. You know, this fight is nothing physical. It's nothing physical. He fought guys that's strong. He fought Triple G. He fought bigger guys, Bivol. This fight is all mental, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the IQ, is the to be intelligent, you know, in that ring. And he brings a lot of that. So we got to make sure we match that. You know, it's will versus will. Is who could break whose will. It's line versus line. And you know I'm Puerto Rican. I'm young. I'm strong. And, you know, it's going to be fireworks September 14th, man. You know, I'm not running. We're not going nowhere. We're going to stay right there. And we're going to do what we do.
I like it. He says he's not running. He's going to be right there. Is that the kind of fight that you want and that you like, Canelo? A firefight?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I really love it.
Come on, man. You got Puerto Rico versus Mexico, man. Like, two warriors.
I don't expect anything else. I know he's gonna come to bring everything, and me too. And that's the fight I really like it. I love it, and I'm gonna enjoy a lot.
What does this rivalry mean to you? We always hear that Puerto Rico versus Mexico. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot because it's history. It's history. We had great fights versus Mexico, Puerto Rico, and I think this is gonna be other one to the books of boxing.
Edgar, same question. What does that mean to you when we talk about that Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry?
Listen, man, I'm 27 years old. I started boxing when I was 7 years old, 20 years in the game. And we've been dreaming about this since I was a kid. And when I turned pro, Canelo Álvarez was on my mind. And anybody out there knows, I manifested this fight. You know, between my hard work and keeping God first, we got the fight. And, you know, we're here now, man. It's a blessing to be here, you know, and I want to thank everybody, man. This fight is going to be something to remember. And it's crazy because this year, right after I knocked out Patrick McCorry, we didn't know we was going to get the Canelo fight. I had a dream with Canelo in my dream. And he was at my fight, he watched me. And I knocked the dude out. And he looked up in the dream. And he was with somebody. He told somebody, you see that kid right there? I was on top of the ring, going crazy. He was like, you see that kid? We're going to make history. He didn't say the date. When I woke up, I already knew. I said, yeah, we getting this fight in September, 1,000%.
Kid's hungry. Says he's been dreaming about this fight and dreaming about you. How does that motivate you?
Relax.
You know what I mean.
No Mookie stuff, man.
Right.
Yeah, please, bro.
You know what I mean.
I like that.
So he's been fiending. He's been fiending to get his paws on you. How does that motivate you when you know you got somebody who said, I've had you marked my entire career?
I feel great. I feel great. You know, somebody dreaming about me. It's perfect. I like it. And he got it. He got it.
So we'll wrap it up with this. I'll start with you, Edgar. Saturday, September 14th, Las Vegas, PBC Pay-Per-View. There'll be a lot of people. That arena's gonna be sold out. There's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna put down their hard-earned money to buy this fight. What can you guarantee they're going to get when Edgar Berlanga steps into the ring with Canelo Álvarez?
Like I said before, fireworks. You know, they think, you know, we don't predict the fights, you know what I'm saying? And we're going in there and we're going to do what we do, you know. Fireworks, baby, superstar status. You know, it's legendary September 14th, man. It's Puerto Rico, it's Mexico. Y'all got to understand, man. Fuck all the haters, man. You know, fuck all the haters and whoever's on social media chatting and talking, because for every hater is another pay-per-view buy, man. So get your pay-per-view ready, man.
Champ, we'll wrap it up with you. September 14th, for all those people who will come out, lay down their hard-earned money, what can you guarantee they're going to get when you step into the ring with Edgar Berlanga? He says he's going to become a legend that night. What can you guarantee they're going to get?
We'll see. We'll see. That's we have this fight, right? And I'm gonna put my best like always, and I always say that it's not the same. Call the lion to see they coming. So it's gonna be a really good night for boxing. I guarantee that.
Folks, September 14th, T-Mobile Arena, the fight capital of the world. The unified super middleweight champion, Canelo Álvarez, against the #1 contender, the unbeaten Edgar Berlanga. Gentlemen, let's have one last face-off. One last face-off in the middle.
Security out here.
I like to apoyo, right?
Appreciate it, guys. Good stuff. Good to meet you, sir. Good stuff. Good stuff. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. September 14th, T-Mobile Arena. Canelo versus Berlanga. The rivalry. And you can see it. PBC Pay-Per-View. Prime Video. The unified super middleweight champion against the #1 contender, Canelo Álvarez, Edgar Berlanga.
Mis paisas en el gabacho, mis truchas con la polis. Loco en Guanajuato con los ojos bien tumbados.
We'll see you September 14th from Las Vegas. Don't forget, we'll also see you tomorrow from Los Angeles. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Soñado bien bajado.